liking the aggression.
He's going to have to chase him hard now. Rapha doesn't have much stack at all. He's going to have to find... He was hit just a second ago, it seems. 25 seconds. He's got to close the gap somehow. Where's he? Is he down below? I think that button was pressed. He's hit one rail. He needs to hit one more. He can't quite get it. He's found it. We got 15 seconds though. Where is Rapha? Oh my God! He did us! What is this, Dan?
Rapha versus Evil, QuakeCon 2016, September 4th, 2023. Expert level. This is perhaps one of the best matches I've ever seen from the Quake 3 Arena / Quake Live community, and I'll explain in further detail how intense the gameplay between these two players truly is, as well as the meticulous level of detail in the maps that they play. Sinister, Elder, Blood Run, Intel version, Furious Heights, aka Heavy Rain, as they very clearly illustrate expert level game design. But this video throws in an overdrive by showing the expert level gameplay and capabilities of the players. Players and commentators. Shane Hendrickson, Player 1, Rapha, United States. Sergei Arikov, Player 2, Evil, Russia. Daniel Kapadia, Commentator number 1, DDK, England. Xavier Dorn, Commentator number 2, Zoot, England. So I believe this is somewhat of a segue into showing how to use GTK Radiant / Net Radiant. I believe that this video illustrates and demonstrates what makes the game well made. What I will do is play the video in its entirety and provide some commentary as the match plays out, as I will unpack and examine the details in each map, as well as the strategies that these two players use in this matchup. But first, as stated in Game Design Part 1, there are a lot of games with better graphics, geometry, textures, animations, lighting, and etc. than Quake 3 Arena. However, one thing that I've noticed with many newer games is that they are either overproduced or over-engineered, which effectively resolves to being overproduced. Overproduction is a term for something that has too many details that can serve to be a distraction, and it takes away from the raw elements of what makes a game simple. As one relatively powerful statement comes into mind, simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication. Let the games begin. Dramatic musical introduction. Quake 2016. Shane Hendrickson, Sergei Arikov. Yeah, I don't really agree with this whole Rapha had a one snap automatic for winning the 6 years ago.
Bring them on here.
Should we do it? Are you ready? I'll follow your lead.
All right, well, ladies and gents, welcome Rapha from America to the stage, back once again in a QuakeCon Finals to play Quake Live.
And next up,
sort of looks like
Evil
Matt
coming on
Heafy
as well
from
from Russia. They met last year, and they are in for another battle.
I feel like we've been here before, Seed.
This is deja vu, isn't it?
It is. These guys have played many times before and on this stage. I think my first ever event was these guys on stage at QuakeCon 2013.
Indeed, and this was the final
basically
last
a
year,
representation of the Cold War.
Be trying to defend
United States
his
versus
title.
Russia.
He did win in the winner bracket, starts with a small advantage. I believe the players can get their seats and we can get the things running very soon.
Absolutely.
Game on.
Prepare to fight.
Alright, so far, yeah, look at the floor textures here. They're pretty nice. A lot of little details throughout this map, like the doorways, they all have like the half octagon shape, and then they got the little light in the middle and the top. You'll see this all throughout the map. It's basically a lot of trim that is beveled, and then it has the same texture going up. So it looks like it matches right there at the vertices. See, this one's going 90 degrees, and then this one's going 0 degrees, right? And then also the shading, the lighting, the way the light is hitting the area here. It's you know, it's kind of dark right there. It gives it like some contrast.
3, 2.
Another thing is the lighting changes from one side of the map to the other. A lot of it is white, but in some areas it's light yellow, and the light here is being emitted by the model. There's a lot of these models scattered throughout the map, and then look at the way the roof is set up. It basically is taking some elements from actual classical engineering or construction or architecture, and then you know, you're really hard pressed to see like any hard edges in the map, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But you know, what tends to happen in tournament maps or game maps is you'll get caught on the edges of stuff, and then you know, if you're getting caught on edges in the map, that's going to frustrate the players. So
1. Fight.
spiraling staircase, that's pretty cool. There's a lot of geometry involved in that though, and it looks like it matches up with each brick, which that's pretty cool, I guess. Maybe not, I don't know. But also, like I said, you get a contrast of yellow light in the other area and then white light over here. There's nothing emitting that little spot of light right there, so some of the lighting is sort of off, but I'm not going to tank the construction of the map for things like that. It does look out of place. Oh, okay, so there is a light there, I saw it. I'm not going to rewind it, but anyway, here is the red armor, and then in Quake Live they have, in some of the maps, they have a little spot underneath where the item goes to identify that that's where the item is, and I think that's pretty cool. And you can see in the distance over there's a teleporter there, and then it goes into some other part of the map. I used to have Quake Live, and I never had an opportunity to play this map nor Elder, but I have played Blood Run, the original version, not the Intel version, and Furious Heights quite a lot. And so right here is the jump pad area, and it's really closed off, and this is a good level design philosophy to have, because you know, anyone that's navigating throughout the map, they have to be in the hallway to be able to see someone jumping there, and if you're down below, you're not going to have much of an opportunity because you're just going to fly. The target is going to be flying too fast to be able to hit. So and this area is pretty cool because it seems like there's a common theme with putting like a pool of water where the railgun is. That's an indicator in basically all of these maps that they play, except Blood Run, I think. It's in Elder, it's in Furious Heights, and it's in Sinister as seen. Another thing is there's a bit of texturing. The texturing is pretty well executed throughout this whole level, but so is the geometry. And I think that some of the mappers have gotten away from this idea of using a texture and then shaping the map around the textures, and I applaud them for it. And so this room that he's in right now is a 3-tier room, or 3-tier room. And he's jumping off, he's jumping down to the 2nd tier, and you can see straight ahead. I like the window on the left there, the colored window. But straight ahead, there's a little set of stairs, and right there, and also right there. And these are used to increment the level where the player is slightly, which I think is a pretty well executed approach. And so these metal bars right here, they provide both sides with a way to shoot somebody through them and prevent actual movement and everything. and that's pretty cool. I'm going to continue. Hold on a second, I wanted to catch that right here. So this right here is like a beveled edge. You see how it's not a 90-degree angle? It's like it's slightly at an angle there, it's slightly at an angle there, it's slightly at an angle there. They probably could have used curves to do that, but I'm pretty sure that that was a carved surface. And then also the texture on the top, and the texture in the middle, and the texture in the bottom. That might be one texture, but it very well could be 3 different textures. Well, 2 textures and one main middle texture. There's a trim.
But this is the grand finals.
And so the commentators are going to commentate in this video, and I'm going to provide some commentating regarding their commentating in some instances. They use a lot of hyperbole, and I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that right this second.
Finally got through the Expertains, and we can jump into the match between Evil and Rapha in the grand finals. We're currently sitting.
I don't think that the grenade launcher being in a room below a room that a rocket launcher is in is a great design philosophy, but I don't know.
On Evil's perspective, so let's see if we can jump into this.
And this little wedge that he was up on is where the health bubbles are. That's pretty cool. You don't see a lot of that going on. I think it provides a bit of a risky, as you can see in this map, it actually costs Evil the match later on for going for this spot to get those health bubbles.
Into the game.
Go.
There we go.
That's the one.
In the game. And there it is. Rapha straight away the first frag. So Rapha's going to start off.
And another thing, this architecture, the wood is sort of like falling apart right there. I think that's kind of a cool aesthetic look. It provides like a barrier right here in the middle of the room, so it's not a big open room, like once you get to the bottom, right? And so this area right here is like a 3-tier spot, and you get a lot of dynamics between seeing in the other room, and then you can also see down below. That's a very well executed multi-tier strategy right there.
Also, Evil with the first frag. Evil starting off with some control here, so Rapha's going to be against the wall, trying to pressure in a little bit there, and Evil perhaps a little bit surprised. What's Rapha trying to do here? I'm the guy that's stacked. Get out of here.
So the objective obviously is to collect the mega health and the red and the yellow armors, and the way that the items are placed in all of these levels, and basically any good level, is that the mega is always going to be somewhat near a yellow armor, and then the red armor is going to be somewhat near another yellow armor, and it would be like scattered throughout the map in equal distance or whatever. And that is the that's the dynamic of this game, is basically going around, and if you don't collect the items, then the enemy gets them, and then they can take more damage. So the idea of tournament in general is to rotate, like to try to have retain item control, right? I did mention that in game design part 1.
And the next mega should be Evil's, and Rapha's going to have to think very carefully how he builds his stack here.
Yeah, he's got no business.
And so like he landed on the mega health as soon as it came up. Well, maybe it might have been there before and I wasn't paying attention. But that's an interesting dynamic. They watch the time to be able to determine when to go back to pick up an item. But like if you have item control, you don't really have to keep track of that because it becomes habitual.
On the map at the moment, this is Evil's territory, but he needs to capitalize from this. Remember, as I mentioned, this is Evil's pick. He needs to really sink the nail in deep, get some frags early on so that he can feel.
Another thing you'll notice about this video is that it's in 60 frames per second, but every 5 seconds it drops to 30 for whatever reason, and that's just the original source video that does that.
Safe moving later into the series.
And Evil's just going to, I think he's just going to take this slow for now. He's got that 1 frag lead. It's got loads of time to play with. He doesn't have to do anything too risky right at the start of the match. That could risk his...
So they're playing cat and mouse right now. I don't really know why Evil is playing mouse right now, but when someone is moving around slowly, they're trying to sneak around, right?
Item control, which he definitely has going quite well for himself right now, but the mega and the red are spawning both at the same time, so he's going to make a choice.
Yeah, what's he going to do? I think he's just saw that Rapha's going to be moving down towards the mega health. There's a plan there. I think he's just...
The grenades are a great strategy to sort of in game design part 1, I did mention that they're really useful in close proximity or close quarters, but that's not necessarily true. I should probably expand upon the strategy of the grenade launcher. It is used in this match, these 4 rounds, quite a lot to just sort of like prevent a player from getting from point A to B. And the deal, it's not meant to, it is sort of meant to do damage, but it's really more for mitigating a player from traveling from point A to B. And so are the rockets.
Shoot himself both big items. Rapha can also play on the yellow armors. He's playing the long game over here. There's no emergency mode that he needs to get to major items. Rapha is the king of defensive play.
Absolutely. I mean, his ability to read the game is almost unparalleled at times. So definitely strong in that situation. You can see him applying some pressure from above there, throwing some rockets down below, or rather down to the mega position where Evil was below, and it's going to be quite interesting to see whether Evil can actually read Rapha and get ahead of some of these pokes that Rapha's throwing in at him, because Evil should be the guy dictating the pace, and right now it feels like he can't read exactly where Rapha is most of the time.
Got to keep getting this damage in. Rapha did take the red armor straight after that rail, so his armor is still capped out. But Evil, he does not want to rush into it.
I like the little grating around, like right here, the grating around the walls. It helps it from like feeling really flat. And I don't know if you can shoot through these to like the bottom tier or whatever, or maybe it's just there for appearances or whatever. But some of these brushes, they'll be detailed brushes. So detail brushes don't interface with structural brushes. Detail brushes do reduce the number of times that a brush is going to subdivide its polygons, and it helps the game to perform a lot better. And I think these are all detail brushes that you'll see scattered throughout the level.
Engagement where he feels he can with that lead, he can try and protect. He can try and protect it. There's still a long time until that red buster, but Evil feels comfortable to move forward. Is he going to get a frag? He misses out on the rail, but will secure that item.
Yeah, it's also a really big play. I mean, just as you said, Rapha's so smart and very good at playing out of control. You can see him able to keep himself alive, build his stack, hit the damage, or get the pressure.
That is an interesting dynamic right there, being able to rail an opponent that's in another room and not be fully inside of the room. You'll see that quite a lot throughout these 4 matchups, or 4 rounds.
Evil feeling it once again, as the Mega has been stolen away from him. Rapha's going to be going back up to the top.
Notice how Rapha, or Evil, had shot that rocket, and then Rapha was there like a second later. Yeah, that's how good these players are at predicting each other's movements.
Yellow now to see if he can continue, strangely, his reign of terror despite being the guy mostly out of control. Evil working into that red armor control. Rapha's going to decide to take the fight. The LG is fantastic. Evil's gluing onto him.
Yeah, his LG is pretty spot on.
Brilliant frag there. Evil will increase his lead 2-0 as Rapha now is wondering, what do I have to do to get back in the game against this guy?
That lightning gun was unbelievable.
So he says that lightning gun was unbelievable. Now, he uses that hyperbole quite a lot. It is believable because he's at the grand finals at QuakeCon. These guys are both really good. There's a lot of times that these commentators will use hyperbole like I just suggested. It isn't unbelievable, it's believable. You're at the QuakeCon Masters or finals or whatever, and these guys are really good. But the way that they'll say something was unbelievable is meant to just hyperbolize, I think I mentioned it already, the skill of the player. And it's something that fills up time. So this is part of commentating, sort of providing, it is a form of a lie, but is anyone going to fault them for that? I think everyone that's watching is going to know what the commentator means by that. However, it's good to keep in mind that some people use a lot of hyperbole and then they go around saying they never lie about anything. Yeah, hyperbole is a form of lying, to some extent.
Hitting every single cell of lightning. And I think Rapha is going to be paying his respect to Evil right now. He's probably going to be sinking further back to that, but he's out of front, but he's going to lightning gun Evil down. That's a bit of map control gained for Rapha, and I think Evil's going to be regretting his actions just there, because he's lost a whole lot of his resources.
Yeah, it's not supposed to go like this. And perhaps that's something we would expect when he's up against the likes of Rapha. Evil, though, is in a pretty decent position to go for the Mega Grab. And Red is spawning at the same time, so we would expect both players to have a mutual agreement almost to say, you know what, I don't want to fight, you don't want to fight, but that said, it seems like Rapha wants to fight. And he takes a lot of damage there. Evil read that pretty well, gets the damage in. Rapha has to go back for the red armor, but Evil is in a really good position. You can see him creeping around there, trying to see if he can get some sounds, catch some whiff of Rapha, but Rapha's long gone. And Evil will pick up the yellow, but he's an absolute shoo-in for the next big items that are coming up, the red and then the Mega.
Needs to hold steady over here. Rapha just trying to get in his way and get some big damage, but nothing was able to happen. Evil's on a full 200 right now. He's going to find Rapha by the Mega Health. The battle of the rockets at the moment. Rapha, is he going to go down? He tries to go for the rail, but Evil survives a bit longer.
He should have pushed right there.
And he's got that upper yellow himself. Rapha's got barely any resources. Evil just spotted him. That should be a rail shot that he should be able to find, but Rapha again being very receptive. Red armor's up. Evil doesn't want to leave it around for too long in case Rapha gets the alley-oop on him and swings past and steals it.
So all is quiet on the Western Front at the moment.
Another thing you'll notice is that these maps are pretty big. Just because a map is big doesn't mean that it plays big. There's a very big difference between the type of bigness in MP Tourney 2, Death Factory, and these maps. You know, these maps might be big, but they're very connected, and there's multiple ways to go from point A to B, and that is an indication of a really good map. It might be the same size as Death Factory, but it doesn't feel that way.
Evil just waits here, seeing what is Rapha's move going to be. Rapha's the guy out of control. He's the guy that doesn't have the lead. He's got to chase the lead. So Rapha's the guy that has to make the move. I think Evil can comfortably just keep running the items, keep playing the war of attrition against Rapha. Every time he shows his head, Evil can shoot off a rail, wear down his stack, because Rapha doesn't even have access to much stack to replenish whatever he loses. So Rapha has to pick his situations very, very carefully if he wants to get back into this one. And
one of the things that he just did
down his stack, because Rapha doesn't even have access to much stack to replenish whatever he loses. So Rapha has to pick his situations very, very...
Alright, so straight ahead, there's a block where he jumps up on, which is basically 128 units high, and given enough a high enough frame rate, a player can jump on top of 128 unit. So this comes in handy throughout the match, right? And if you don't have that high frame rate, you're not going to be able to jump up on that little platform or whatever. So that is a design implementation. It's also a limitation on some people. They might not have an equal opportunity to be able to make those jumps if they're not getting a high enough frame rate.
Carefully, if he wants to get back into this one, and with 4 minutes to play with, his next big move or two could be it for this match, or this map.
But it's up to Evil. I think he's made barely any mistakes this game. There was one occasion trying to jump onto the red armor.
I don't know how Evil did not see that. He should have seen that, but whatever.
Surely that meant that he was in a bit of trouble. But other than that, Evil played pretty much a flawless game. His combat skills have been next to nothing.
Here, let me rephrase that. I do know how he wasn't able to see him because Rapha was walking, but that's what this game breaks down to, sort of hectically bouncing around the map or jumping from point A to B in order to get shots, which you'll see in this video.
Well, let's see if he can hold on to it. There's still time for Rapha to make this happen. 3.5 minutes is plenty enough. If he can get that first frag, then the second one should not be an issue if he can get it done quickly.
And so the commentator just said, well, you know, as long as he gets one and he can get another one, it's sort of talk, it's filler talk, right? Yeah, that's what he's trying to do all match, is trying to get more frags than the opponent. So you know, explaining that sort of draws out the game and gives it some interesting commentary, but the commentary breaks down to what the players are doing.
Absolutely, and the Evil's going to find himself in Rapha's pace right there. LG in hand, just trying to drill into Rapha, but Rapha will quickly find himself with a height advantage, but Evil has the stack in Rapha.
And he just mentioned it, height advantage. That's always a good thing to have, height advantage, because of the gravity in the game. So height advantage always provides the person on the higher platform an advantage, always, because you have more opportunity to be able to shoot down, whether you're using the rocket launcher or anything else. Like part of the person on the top, they're hidden. However, the person on the bottom, they are able to be fully seen, well, typically.
Where's the damage at? Now Evil's picked up the Mega as well. He's in a great position. I think he wants to finish this off, but the red armor is spawning. Rapha's going to somehow get ahead of Evil. Moving on to the red armor. Surely Rapha is a dead man. How was he alive? How has he stolen the red armor? I have no idea how he's managed to pull that one off.
So listen to what he just said. How has he stolen the armor? How is he able to pull that off? Well, it's the nature of the game. Anything can happen in these games.
But he's given himself a chance.
So much honor for Rapha at this point. I think, again, essentially Mega is what Evil really pins all his hopes on. He cannot lose that item control. When they played Sinister earlier today, it was Evil losing the Mega that actually cost him the map in the end. He's going to ensure. What a rail there. That was unbelievable. And he's just...
See how I said that was unbelievable? Yeah, it's, I don't know.
about dodging their shots that Rapha's sending up to him, and he's going to secure that Mega health himself. Once he gets the yellow, he is going to be feeling like he's on God mode, and would be able to attack if needed. Rapha might get a bit of trouble over here. That's why he's going to actually push forward. Evil works his way back, does take an extra rail, but has got control over the red armor.
The Evil's come off way better out of this because the Mega's spawning in 15 seconds and Evil does so much damage that he's going to be able to get a decent engagement if he goes for the drop. And he should have the timing as well. And you can see he's in the area now, so Rapha has to think.
So you see that little 19 right there? That is an indication of how much damage someone is doing to somebody. But what is not known or told is, like, okay, what percentage of that is health and what percentage of that is armor? And also, I don't know if I particularly agree with that little, that technique, because it provides the players like verbatim information on how much damage they're dealing. And that wasn't a part of the game beforehand. It's not a part of Team Arena, it's not a part of Quake 3 Arena, so it was added in Quake Live.
Carefully, what is the best way to attack? He's going to go for the steal actually. The Mega spawned, it's up, Evil can't deny it. Rapha with another steal. That's daylight robbery right there. Rapha still keeping himself in it. But
and that is the objective of the game, is basically to get into a place and take the item so that the enemy cannot take it. But also, as you can see, there's no time next to the red armor, so the red armor is there, and he just took 100 damage. And what that says is that he's going to try to be desperate to get the red armor, and this provides a little bit of this is basically like you have to do something. You just lost the Mega health, and you might lose the red armor here. So what happens is that this guy is going to feel pressured to go against him, even though he's got 105 health and 57 armor.
But now there's just 2 minutes, and he has to get the kills.
Oh my God. That damage that Evil is getting out, absolutely solid, but he misses the rail on the way.
He got the red armor successfully.
Yeah, this is when he has to break away from the fight a bit. He's got that 44 armor, and Rapha didn't do much damage to him, even though he was so much weaker. But Evil, what a painful time to lose control. Should we have a look at Rapha and see what he can do? Let's hold on a second. Evil just about escaping from that. This is extremely tense. Rapha, he wants that Mega, and this is it. This is go time at the moment. The red is going to be up in a moment, but Evil, he does not want to be seen on the map. He has to escape into the dark passages.
The fact that he was able to pick up the red armor and pick up the Mega health and then the red armor, that puts him at a serious advantage. Even though he's 0 and Evil is 2.
Sinister.
And he just picked up the yellow armor.
So the clock is really against Rapha right now. This is the first time he's really had true control against the...
So look at his armor and health, and 185 and 194. He is basically fully stacked.
An opponent that has a stack that is dwindled into almost nothing. Rapha is playing it patient, another yellow, but now it's time to go. Mega and red are spawning in close proximity. He's got to be careful that Evil doesn't sneakily find his way onto a steal, and you can see Rapha will take care of the red, and then the Mega, and then surely it's got to be the hunt, the pure hunt. He's got to get the kills.
He's got to go. Evil is just one step ahead of him at all times. He's got to get...
So at this point, what Evil's best course of action would have been is to drag it out. You know, don't get in any confrontations at all. He's 2 frags up. However, that's not what happens.
In his face immediately. He's not going to think about the items at all, and he's whiffing the shots that he needs to hit. There's one, but that rocket from Evil was unbelievable at predicting. 30 seconds. He needs that frag within the next 15. Otherwise, I think Evil's going to get himself on the board here. You can.
Now, I don't know how he didn't see Evil right there.
But that rocket
on the
from
right.
Evil was unbelievable at predicting. 30 seconds. He needs that frag within the next 15. Otherwise, I think Evil's going to get.
See, he's right there on the right. Right there. So I don't know how he didn't see that.
On the board here. You can see that Evil's got no armor. I think he's hurting himself, rocket jumping around. I believe that was the top yellow. He just looked, he's found him. There's so little time left. Evil, no help. He's going down. We got 15 seconds. Where is the spawn?
Rapha's searching desperately. Oh, there it is. He finds a couple pixels, a couple green pixels for just a moment. But Rapha's movement is on purpose.
No!
Evil finds his way into Rapha. Oh, he's going to do it. 2 seconds left.
So he was trying to go for the health bubbles, but I think he missed. Or maybe he wasn't trying to go for the health bubbles at all. Either way, like Rapha saw him down below, and then he chased him, and he rocket jumped, and then he rocket jumped again, and he was able to get a hit. He's definitely going to beat himself up over that because he was 2 ahead.
2 seconds, and Rapha gets the kill. Overtime. And this ain't done just yet.
It isn't, but how is Evil going to recover from this? He was seconds away from that map victory to tie the series up. He is going to feel devastated, but he can't think about that now. The game should be on his mind.
So an interesting dynamic about Quake Live and Tournament is that anytime that the score is tied and it reaches the time limit, you get a 2-minute overtime. And if the score is still tied, then you get an additional overtime, and this keeps going. So like, it's not sudden death where like if it goes into overtime and then someone gets a frag, then they win. So that is an interesting dynamic about this.
This is calming down. Oh!
And that was a very well shot rocket right there, by the way. Yeah. So like, let's play it again.
Series up. He is going to feel devastated, but he can't think about that now. The game should be on his mind.
This is calming down.
That right there just goes to show that like the players, they'll spam these rockets in certain locations where they expect the enemy to go, and then like most of the time they'll miss them, but you know, sometimes they will catch them right in the friggin' face, just like that right there. And that is definitely a hard one to the face.
Oh! What the hell was that? Rapha finding himself an insane rocket out of nowhere.
Oh my God,
he's going to get him
another
off
one.
the spawn. What is going on?
As you can see, he just committed suicide. I don't think he meant to do that intentionally.
I think that's how upset Evil is with this situation. He decided to end his own life on that occasion. And he's got 1 minute and 20 seconds, but to see how much work it took Rapha to tie that game up, how's Evil going to be able to do it with so little time remaining?
He's got to go for a big play, a big risk, and he's going to have a disadvantage, a massive one, and he's going to know that, but he just has to get it done. That's just how it works, and Rapha's going to start to go just and run away, try to keep the items, keep himself in position, make sure that Evil's going to funnel himself through choke points, and that's the terrible thing to be up against if you're Evil. But Rapha's going to drop in there for the Mega. Oh, well, that's a good way to start it off, though.
Very good rockets, and he's landed a rail. He's going to try to hold on to this. The red zone taken by Rapha, and he's missing the following shots. He's missed 3 rails in a row. 35 seconds left. He needs to do exactly what Rapha did, and it just simply isn't looking possible. That's only starting stack that he has.
He needs a miracle. There's no way around it. Rapha had control for about 90 seconds, and he got the 2 frags he had to get in that time. Absolutely phenomenal stuff there from Rapha. And here it is. He's trying to create this Quake concurse that he has. Wow. But Evil, oh, that is the GG right now.
And so that's the first matchup, and sucks that Evil lost that because he definitely was in the lead for most of the match.
Rapha with the first map, unbelievable comeback into the overtime.
And then you look at the statistics here, you know, the awards and well, you got a lot of pickups, and you can see the average number of pickups. And if you compare the pickups to each other, you know, he's getting a lot more yellow armors and the red armor, but he's getting the mega health a lot more often. You know, these statistics don't they're not like pertinent to whether or not they're going to win or lose, because there's also the accuracy. So Evil was actually a lot more accurate than Rapha and did a lot more damage, but lost. So that just goes to show that, like, even if you're more accurate, you can still lose. So Rapha used the map and the geometry of the map to his advantage. And if you compare like how much damage they did with each weapon or whatever, I think that's pretty cool that Quake Live does that. It's done that for the longest time, but I don't know why it says August 7th, 2016 and the introduction said August 6th, 2016, the demo date, but whatever.
Time.
That was amazing. He's now 2-0 up with only one map to win in order to get this series. I think we're going to just a quick little interlude.
I think we're back, Stu.
I think we're back. I think
Quick
we're back
intermission.
in this. We're in the room. And you know what? I think Evil's going to be thankful for that so that he can calm down from what just happened.
Oh, yeah.
What on earth did we just see on
That was traumatic.
That was...
He's going to be having nightmares about that one. That's going to keep him up into the night.
You know, you play a perfect game for 8 minutes, and then you allow that to happen to you. How can you live with yourself at that point? I believe we can probably tell the players that we are ready, and we can go over to Elder, which is going to be Rapha's map pick, and see if he's going to be able to take this one down. He's been pretty much flawless on this map the whole time. Evil's been very close. It's been only just tiny.
And this map right here, I've never played. I think I mentioned that, and it's pretty cool. Uses I think the same floor texture from the other map, and you see this trim here. You see some stairs that are at a slight. They're going that way. I don't really like when the stairs sort of like do this kind of thing. I would have preferred to use like a brush or something there, or a slope, and you know, have like a blockier approach there. But I guess, you know, it's a minor detail. But I mean, a lot of these maps have like little minor details that stand out, and take some inspiration from this particular map because it's pretty well executed.
Tiny moves that have made the difference.
So there's this Shub Niggeroth looking thing. I think that's what that is supposed to be. And then also you got the red armor that's over there. You got a couple of ledges that you got to jump over in order to go get the red armor. And then you also got that broken pylon thing right there. Definitely pretty cool. The lighting is pretty well executed. The geometry is pretty well executed as well.
Between victory and defeat, and it looks like they...
And so there's this room here, which I don't really understand the mechanics of it, but like you push a button and then the things go up or down.
Game starting now. It's match point for Rapha at the QuakeCon 2016.
And another thing about this particular map, a lot of times they'll get that item by hitting the ceiling right there, which I don't particularly care for.
In Duel Masters and
See how you just picked up the mega health by like just jumping underneath it? Yeah, I don't think that's a good mechanic.
we're in there.
Oh, what is that? Game sounds. Let's go. And Rapha already is going to get found by Evil. Oh, the rockets are good.
Whoa.
The rockets are fantastic. 4 HP left on Evil. He'll keep himself alive though. I don't think he wants to mess around too much. And I think Myson's going to be coming up. He's going to try to cut off Rapha though from the awesome mega that is to be had soon, as well as potentially the red. I believe Evil should be strong enough, but...
So you notice that he's kind of like jiggling the mouse left and right. I think he's got I don't know why these guys actually would use something like that, but they're holding like the strafe button and then moving the mouse back and forth in order to move like that. I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. I don't think that's key presses that they're doing to do that.
It might be a bit too much to try to challenge directly.
He's got to be leveling this. Rapha wants to go aggressive on the mega, and he's getting that upper position to ensure he can't get to him. There's been a bit of a sketchy last 30 seconds, having just fragged with 10 health to go. But
so you see how like he hit the button and now these things are raising? I don't know if I like that mechanic.
it's as if his recovery is quite full. The problem is, if that key's been taken by Rapha, then We know what's happened before. Rapha has always managed to get back into the game and eventually take a lead. Evil is going to have to be Super Saiyan right now.
Absolutely, and Rapha, coming from the winner.
And so that door right there with the key on it, it's an interesting mechanic in this map where like you can pick up the silver key and you can go back and forth, and it's obviously like a token of the original Quake in here, and I think that's pretty cool. So that leads me to believe that that is Shub Niggeroth down there, or at least that's what it's supposed to be. And yeah,
Bracket, he is going to be having that at
if this is this map definitely says that it's based on the original Quake, and that's pretty cool.
advantage. So it's all on this one really for Evil. He must win this. And last time he didn't against Rapha in the tournament. Rapha's going to go in for the engagement. He knows the Mega is coming, but the rockets are great there from Evil. One was all he needed, and that's 100 damage straight away as he makes his mark now. And he's actually going to leave the Mega up for a little, then go in for that play into the middle area.
Why has he done that? Why did he leave the Mega up? He's just given up that frag for seemingly nothing. Rapha's in the match now. Tied it up.
That's a really...
And you notice that he just rocket jumped up to the red armor to collect it. He could have very easily gone and gone up the stairs and then gotten the red armor and then navigated over to collect the other items. But time is of the essence, and being able to take the item and get the hell out of there is a mechanic that these guys use quite a lot in this matchup.
Big risk, and it seems really big risk. And sometimes, I mean, people know that he does tend to leave items up in weird spots, but it was hard to see his plan there. What is he after? It's very difficult to say. We'll have to see later on as we review things, but it's going to be control for Rapha, and we already saw what he can do with 2 minutes of control at the end of the last map.
So this hallway right here,
later on,
not this
as
one.
we review things, but it's going to be control for Rapha, and
This hallway right here, I don't really like the way that it's shaped. You know, it's like a trapezoid looking thing. They could have done a lot more with the shaping of this area here, but I mean, it is a small pet peeve, but I am going to say that if you're going to design a level, stay away from this design, mainly because it's uninspiring and it kind of gives this monotonous feeling when you're staring down it, that like there's not a whole lot going on. There's plenty of geometry there, the lighting fixtures on the ceiling, and there's cracks and crevices in the wall with the light fixture down there, so that's cool, but the general shape of this hallway is uninspiring.
we already saw what he can do with 2 minutes of control at the end of the last map.
Evil turtle this game to snail speed as well. He's going to get some rockets on here. He needs to get some pretty immense damage because Evil's stack is not that massive. He's trying to get out. Actually, Evil's doing some decent damage, but he's going to go down. Rapha gets his lead.
Evil did really good damage there, but as you say, the frag is for Rapha, though. Nice bit of damage from Evil over the LT, trying to capitalize on Rapha, maybe jumping and catching him with a lot of damage. It wasn't quite perfect. Oh, the pin comes in. Rapha is to catch Evil over by the red, and that's another kill.
Yet again though, Evil with that damage. I wonder if he's going to go and get himself a railgun and see if he can play that long-range game a little bit. All the items coming up soon. Surely Evil's going to be able to get something on the map to help him out. Rapha can't get everything.
Having that key, having the access to this door on the high area of the map is really important, and Rapha just has free passage. His travel is much quicker, and he can. It's very useful for the guy that's out of control to have that key, but that's not the case. It's Rapha who has it, making life even more difficult for Evil. If it wasn't bad enough, and Rapha already looking to get some information there on Evil. Sees that he's in center map now, so Rapha seems to be really dictating the pace.
And here's that mechanic again with the railgun in a room with water.
Oh, it gives away the RA though. The red armor goes to Evil as Rapha decides, you know what, I'm going to let you have that because I want the railgun.
I think, yeah, Evil should be in possession of that as well. It's going to be careful that LG damage. Those rockets aren't really hitting anything at the moment. Evil gets this lightning gun out and forces Rapha to make a pretty sketchy weapon change. But the Mega goes to the rush.
That's something that to note. Changing weapons, it takes like a second or maybe shorter than that. But when you're switching weapons, you're vulnerable to attack. Although you can get combination hits when you do weapon switching properly, or you know, in time or in synchronization of an attack or whatever.
And Rapha backs off with just a yellow. I think Evil's just got himself control of that ordeal. His combat skill, again, proving to be immense.
This lower area isn't accessed a whole lot in this match, but basically there's a mechanic here where there's a button straight ahead where if you shoot it or push it, the thing goes down and you can traverse up the stairs here. But however, you're vulnerable to attack like that every time that you do that.
Fantastic work by Evil. Oh, he's not done. Rockets from above. Looks like Rapha's able to avoid most of it. Doesn't go down, but he is on only, well, a very limited amount of health now. Evil's going to know that, so he might decide to go for an attack. We'll have to see how Evil wants to play this, but Rapha knows he has to be very careful, has to juke, he has to drive, he has to be unpredictable, and he's going to speed on to the other side of the map now, and he's actually found himself quite a lot to work with.
That's very clever from Rapha, realizing that Evil's going to be going to the major items, and maybe an oversight from Evil. Possibly should have expected that Rapha would give that respect.
As you can see, he jumped on, they've been jumping on Shub Niggurath. I'm going to keep calling it Shub Niggurath. It's not a bad thing, but I would have modeled that differently.
And all of a sudden he's on 200 armor. That was like 10 seconds ago, he had nothing. Evil, his item game has been a bit quirky, to be diplomatic. And with 10 seconds till mega health, is Rapha going to lay a trap down? Because Evil's obviously going to have some firm timing on this.
Very quiet at the moment on top.
So, something to note here is that in Quake 3 Arena, the models and the map are distinctly different items. So, like, the map editor, GTK Radiant, is going to have an ability to import the models, and then you can place them throughout the map, but they have to be distributed with the map, and they have to be, like, textured and rendered ahead of time. The skin needs to be applied properly and everything, and models come in like dead last. You want to have the structure of the map built first, and then you start adding models and stuff. Though that's not a consistent case. You might want to use something like these torches here on the wall to light the level and places here and there. In addition to, typically you're going to want to try to use the shaders to provide light map characteristics to a map, and the shader for the lava is it's sort of like, it's reddish and it's going up the walls here, which provides it a bit of an environment feel. And then
as Evil does pick himself up some additional armor, Rapha's going to notice that the red armor is gone, and now he's starting to think, alright, Evil's actually stacked up pretty significantly, but Rapha, he knows he has the lead. It's up to Evil to take the fight to him, and Evil's not going to like that engagement, so he won't commit. But that is basically what this is about. Evil has to find some spot where he traps Rapha and where he has the advantageous engagement.
I think he needs to make some aggressive jumps up to that, the top of the mega.
also,
Evil has to find some spot where he traps Rapha and where he has the advantageous engagement.
I think he...
so that's a jump pad right there. It's not a flat jump pad, it's an actual model. I haven't pointed it out yet, but I think that's pretty cool.
Needs to make some aggressive jumps up to that, the top of the mega area. But he's going to go down from below instead. He hasn't taken the red because he had 200 armor previously. He takes the mega, and maybe he's going to go try and meet him down in center map. Rapha giving him his respect and gets out over towards the top yellow. That red is there. I think it was taken. I don't think Rapha...
At some points in this video, you get bleeding over of the sounds from both players, and it is kind of chaotic because if you don't know that that's what's happening, then you're going to wonder what the hell's going on. But that's what's going on. So at some points throughout the match, the sound from both players is being played.
Not just him jumping across, so a missed opportunity to get some damage himself. Gets the lower yellow. His armor looks good. Evil looking a bit stronger, but we know that Evil's having trouble getting into a fight here. Gets him in the air. This is the air rocket. Rapha's in trouble here. He's gonna go down. Evil bringing it one step back.
So he went for glory. He went for the frag movie play, the highlight reel. But there was no highlight reel there for him. Oh! There you go. Evil.
And that's another thing. If you jump in the lava, you die from the damage from the lava. So if you're going to use like lava or slime or whatever else in the map that where the environment does damage to a player, you want to use that sparingly. You don't want to spam people with that all over the place. If anything, put like a protective barrier or...
Dude, he went for glory. He went for the frag movie play, the highlight reel. But there was no highlight reel there for him. Oh!
Put a protective barrier or like something like that to prevent like a player from dying from like the lava. It is a pet peeve of mine to not have areas where there's death pits or lava, mainly because like lava being in video games goes back to like Super Mario Brothers from 1985. You know, it's a over and done with portion of the game scene, in my opinion. Don't allow people to die from like lava pits or death pits. There's other ways you can spice up portions of a map so that the surface area of the map still allows that area to be accessible without like taking on damage and stuff. But I don't know, that's my opinion.
Oh, there you go. Evil sending Rapha straight down into the fiery lava.
That is incredible though. We've never seen Evil be able to recover a lead from Rapha when he's had control and the key. This is a first time. Now he's got to try and hold on to this now and extend that lead. He does not want to let Rapha pick up too many armors.
Rapha almost maybe letting things get away from him just because he wanted to get the air rocket. Didn't have to do that. Could have pulled out the LG. There's so many options there.
If that air rocket hit, then it would have been absolute magic. But
oh yeah,
he might regret that a little later on.
Yeah, but that's the key thing, is that he didn't hit, and that makes it all.
So I did mention in this part about lava being like an annoyance factor or whatever. If it's a single player game, I don't see anything wrong with that. But if it's a multiplayer game and it's a tournament level, that is basically, I don't know. If you're gonna make maps, in my opinion, keep that sort of stuff like in a protective barrier or something like that.
Better, especially for Evil. So let's see if Evil's able to actually capitalize. He's got that key. He's got the health, he's got the armor. All he has to do now is find Rapha, who is hell-bent on avoiding him.
Where's he gone though? Oh, I think I see some names being spammed. This is the first we've heard of him in about 30 seconds or so. He's trying to play it slowly. Has he heard any sound cues to tell him what Rapha's playing at? He hasn't checked this lower hallway in a while. He's going to find him. It's just a shotgun, but he can't make anything work, and he does not want to walk into all of that damage that could have been taken. Oh, the LG! He's going to take him down!
And that was a lot of really well executed damage right there, but I don't think it actually got a payoff out of that.
Surely Rapha's on no health at all! Evil's going to circle the items of it, and it looks almost certain that he's going to be getting that next kill. That damage was unreal.
And Evil knows he's got to finish it off. If he waits too long, Rapha will recover. He has to find the finish. Where is the close? You have to close frags like that. But Rapha, he's managed to get himself up to a survival situation, but that's going to help. The rail comes in, and Evil, once again, is going to whittle down Rapha, but he has to catch him.
I like these clever tricks that he's playing with this. He's showing us some good movement, but also, this is insane movement, actually, from Evil. Oh, that was a little clumsy. And the Mega up in a second. Rapha going to be leaving that one alone, but is grabbing him.
Yeah, he's like, it's insane movement, and then he falls into the lava, and he's like, oh, that was a little bumpy. And so that just goes to show you how like the game changes from moment to moment. You know, like someone might have like stellar performance for a while, but then I don't know, it's not going to take away from my enjoyment of the commentating nor the game itself. But yeah, it's really hard to predict what's going to happen in a particular matchup.
Some reasons himself. Rapha was so close to death. I wonder if Evil maybe missed an opportunity that's going to bite him in the ass later on.
We'll have to see. He still does have the advantage on stack, but again, the key thing is that Rapha's going to realize that. And he's going to say, we're tied actually. So I could try to take it to overtime where I get more time to maybe get control instead of trying to fight a fight that I can't win. And that's what Evil's looking for. He's trying to force a fight that really sucks to Rapha, but so far Rapha's so smart at avoiding it.
What a move from Rapha. He's just across so nimbly, and Evil's going to make sure that that Mega doesn't go to him. Aggressive push, he's going to find him with the LG! Rapha, can he get himself out of there? It's a good angle, a defensive angle for Rapha, so Evil's not going to push in that instance. but still pretty scary for him.
This is so difficult right now.
So this trim right here and the ceiling and everything has multiple brushes here doing that, and I think that's well executed. I think the slope right here where the model is there, that's well executed. But what's basically what's happening here is this may have once been like a room with flat walls and stuff, and then they're like, hey, you know what I could do to make it less flat? I could do this. This is a good technique. That's a good technique. That lighting right there, that's a good technique, and using the trim on the bottom, that's a good technique. All very good techniques to take away the flatness of this particular area. It is still relatively flat, like, you know, the floor texture here is, I like this texture, and I also like how this border texture around that goes all the way around, wraps around. But typically, anytime that you have to like rotate a texture like at an angle, it's not going to match up, so you got to be careful about that too.
For Evil to find Rapha and keep the damage going. I don't know how Rapha does that. It's so difficult to do, especially against a player of Evil's caliber, and oh, that's very annoying. Rapha knows he could steal the red. Very important shot connected by Evil. He's got to connect more. He's down to 110. This is really bad right now for Evil. Everything might be lost if he's not careful. Rapha's coming.
Yeah, this is very dangerous. Evil's got 100 up. He's got the key, sure, but he needs to get himself back on the map in terms of resources. It's almost 200 for Rapha. I think he might be doing it again.
We're going into another overtime soon.
I don't know about that. Rapha's going to have to attack a little bit, and that direct rocket is going to slow him down a little more. But Evil still very weak. Another yellow, and he might be feeling a bit more comfortable, but that's just gone over to Rapha, and he's going to see it happen there. No, mate, that's not up for a while. You're going to have to get out of there. If you're still here in about 5 seconds, then Rapha is going to be all over you.
And he realizes something.
And of course, the players can't actually hear what he's saying, so it is what it is.
Seems a bit off, and he knows he's made a mistake. And this is one of those spots where now.
And so, like, the reason why he was standing in that area and then he started running is because he heard Rapha coming, and he wasn't prepared to take him on in a fight. So when the game is tied, or even if like they're ahead by like 1, you'll see them use this tactic of backpedaling or running away from the confrontation, and that's a useful strategy because you don't want to get caught in the crossfire of somebody that has more armor and health and maybe even ammo, and then they take you out, and then they can slowly take a lot of frags. Because even though like he only has 94 health and 54 armor, like he's got a number of weapons, and that takes a while to gather all those weapons all throughout the map. Every once in a while, he's gonna have to pick up some like armor, some ammo along the way, and then pick up some of these health bubbles too. But yeah. You don't want to die because then you start back with just the machine gun.
You can kind of just giving away control, and Rapha knows it. He's going to start coming for Evil. He's on the run now. This is bad. Overtime.
Again.
Hold on a second.
Now you can kind of just giving away control, and Rapha
So right here, he jumps down, right?
knows it. He's going to
And he doesn't land on the jump pad,
start coming.
and he's able to navigate down here. That is a very well executed jump pad area right there. Because if you jump down and like the jump pad like forces you back up, that doesn't give a player an option to jump down instead of jumping back up. So kudos for that. That's well executed. It's not always well executed in every level.
For Evil, he's on the run now. This is bad. Overtime.
Again.
This is a very bad spot indeed for Evil. He has to play hide and seek now. He has to be the guy hiding.
No, exactly. This is it. This is for all the marbles, as you put it.
So see how he's using the grenades here? Shooting the grenades sort of prevents him from being able to jump over the grenades to get the red armor.
Slow down Rapha a tiny bit, but he's still weak and to get a bit more damage out. He needs more rails though. This simply isn't enough. As long as he doesn't take damage from Rapha himself, then he can still get a bit of confidence.
The problem is that there is a lull right now in the action. but only whilst Rapha deals with the impending items that are spawning, those megas, those reds. So Evil gets the spot to breathe, stack up himself, but Rapha is soon going to come for him, and I think that's right about now.
Anticipation is killing me in this one. And Rapha, oh, he's missed the jump over to red. Doesn't mean that Evil can steal it right away because it's...
And so you'll also notice like there's a roof here with the 45-degree angle, like support beams or whatever. I think that's pretty cool, but it doesn't serve any practical purpose. So if you're going to use something that decorates the level, try to make it so that it has some practical use, or provide some, like this beam here, how it's like kind of broken right there, and it's still, you know, it hasn't like caused the roof to cave in or whatever. You know, that's more of an aesthetic. I mean, I wouldn't say that that's impractical to have there. It gives it some atmosphere and whatnot, but you know, I don't really understand why that's there, other than to just kind of be there for looks.
Still extremely dangerous, but if he can delay that red armor so that Mega spawns as it's still up, then it's going to be an interesting negotiation for different items.
So Evil will claim the red, and Rapha's going to realize that he's going to have a beat on that. And Evil now just waiting patiently. It's done very well actually to get all this item control back.
He's done extremely well considering Evil was 100 health. He's going to find him with the algae. That's completely unreturned damage. Rapha has to be careful himself, and he's early on that red armor. This is a massive opportunity for Evil. The algae is going to take him down, but he cannot find the rail. Rapha maybe kept alive by that red for a little bit. Oh, he doesn't make it work. That Mega's still not up yet, but the grenade just hit him, and he's still not getting the item. That was a little bit messy right there.
See, if that mechanic wasn't in this map, he wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have taken all that damage. I don't think it really matters in the long run of this match. This match lasts like 28 plus minutes or something like that, and it's really intense. But the mechanic just doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense, you know, unless you're jumping down from the top of the stairs. But even then, why wouldn't you just? I don't know. I don't like that mechanic.
I don't know if Rapha realized how much damage he's taken. Evil did about 100 damage to himself or so.
And another overtime, number 2, and this has got to be getting tense for Evil, because if he loses this, it's all over for him in this grand finals. Nice little rail, and he's going to pick up a yellow. That's going to keep them fairly even for now.
They're both very even if you look at the bars at the top. Well, Rapha just took himself another yellow, so it does have an advantage, but do not underestimate the value of the key that Evil holds.
And we could get into, I think, even more overtimes here, because both players, it's going to be a while until one of them finds an engagement where they're like, all right, I got this. Because they're both so good at avoiding each other's kind of mind games, where they can kind of trick you into forcing yourself into a bad spot, because they're so experienced at playing Duel and Quake Live. And you can see Evil's like, that red's up, yeah, sure I want it, but it looks a little bit too good to be true.
Oh, Rapha misses that shot, but there's going to be a rail each. Both of them going for one again, and I think that it's safe to go for that red. It is. Rapha's not able to punish him for that. That's a massive item to have just taken without taking any damage. And he's going to go over to that Mega Health, and if he can take that cleanly, then he is in very good shape.
A little bit quiet once again. The players are stacking up and trying to work out how to attack, and oh, look at, there you go. We've got Rapha with some sneaky angles, but Evil's got a pretty big stack, so he's not too worried about that just at the moment. As long as he doesn't take, one or two more, he's okay. Oh, how did he find that one?
Cheeky. And another. Rapha's got to be careful. Those two rails who have taken is pretty brutal, although a top yellow is going to help him out a little bit. It's Evil in the driving seat for the time being. I think we are approaching an overtime number 3, unless Evil can find it very soon. And Rapha just showed up, he's done huge damage, and Evil's going to have to be careful now. Red's up in a second. He takes it, and he just now, but he finds Rapha. There's 2 seconds left, and he is going to allow him to escape. Overtime 3 on the second map.
I thought that could have been it, too. I thought that could have been it. Evil didn't know that Rapha was going to come out from there. I think, luckily for him, Rapha didn't know either, so like Evil's going to keep Rapha at bait. Nice rockets, they're actually denying some positioning towards the Mega. Rapha's going to have to drop away. He doesn't want any more engagements with those rockets. Being in such a superior position was Evil, and Evil's going to have to get that Mega, and I think Rapha's going to be okay with that, because he gets the red armor, because he wasted so much time from Evil. Oh, there you go. Nice connection, but Evil's going to have to do more than that.
He keeps landing these rails though, but he's not really getting anything out of it other than just stopping Rapha from aggressing him in certain situations.
And that is a good point that he just made. These guys are really good with the rail and lightning gun, or the rest of the other weapons too, but being able to close out a frag, to be able to kill somebody is important, because you can sink a whole lot of damage into somebody, but they're going to continue to pick up items all around the map. And most items, I believe, they respawn within 25 seconds, you know, not unlike the red armor and the yellow armors. The Mega Health is the only one that takes about 35 seconds.
Oh, please. Rapha's going low though. Evil, can you get the last frag? Rapha, he's missed that rail shot and he can't find the last angle. Rapha would have died just then. The red armor's up. Evil's going to be able to take it, and Rapha already licking his wounds. Can he get to that Mega Health? If Rapha's just taken Mega...
If you have to make a rash decision between picking up the Mega Health or the red armor, always go for the Mega Health, because you can have 100 armor and then like 50 health and you'll die. Or you could have 200 armor and 50 health and you'll die. Like, I don't know, I would have to calculate the numbers and everything, but you always want to prefer health over armor, and that's why the health takes 10 seconds. The Mega Health takes 10 seconds longer than the red armor.
Yeah, what a weird turn of events in that fight.
So somehow we're kind of back to the same position. Don't know how it happened though, but that's where we're at. Both players fairly even, neither one wanting. Well, actually, that said, Rapha's not got much to work with in the armor category, so Evil's just again trying to catch him out, trying to play a slow game, trying to keep himself unknown as to where he is on the map to his opponent, so maybe Rapha would run in, but he's going to get a spot there, but again he misses a key shot, and that's going to be very unfortunate for Evil, but he will be able to impose his will onto this Mega Health, and once again maybe leaving him up a little bit for a bit of time to kind of confuse Rapha, because Rapha might try to guess when he takes it, but now he's going to have no idea.
He's going to jump onto the teleporter. Oh, that explosion just happened before he left the teleporter. He's found it, but he can't do anything about it. Rapha's going to be able to escape from that. He's still, Rapha's not ready to pick a fight yet. And we're going to overtime number 4. Unbelievable. These players just demonstrating how much they want this to us. And Evil, he has to win this map if he wants the chance to win. He's got one half decent rockets, he's missing the others. I don't think this is a fight he wants to pick. He's got to get over to that Mega quickly. And that's a very, oh my god, that rail from Rapha.
And Rapha might decide to try to follow up here. It's a very marginal situation, because Rapha wants to just win this right here and right now, but Evil's coming straight back in there with some rails of his own, and Rapha's not in the best state either. So both of these players never in ideal situations. This is ridiculous. No one's ever comfortable.
This challenge on Mega, I wonder if he should go and get self-control of that area right now. The other yellow's been taken and he's hanging around it. Evil should, need that higher ground just a little bit. Get himself yellow, and this battle of resources and chasing each other around the map is just the most complicated.
So as you can probably tell already, after 17 X minutes, this match lasts another 11 minutes or so, and if I provided any additional commentary, it's going to take even longer. But this map is very well made. Despite some of my commentary saying that I don't like this or I don't like that, the thing is this map still gets a 10 out of 10 in terms of like me rating it. It's just that little things are in it that sort of bother me, that it's not going to take away my enjoyment factor from playing the map, or at least seeing it unfold. But like the matchup between these guys is rather intense, and they will chase each other around, and it's pretty intense, this match.
Game of chess you'll ever see.
So Red is
Like he just said, the most intense game of chess he's ever seen. So this game retains a lot of chess-like characteristics.
up at the moment. Once again, it's a bit of a bait, and Evil's going to get himself in position there. The LG can do some work, but Rapha doesn't, again, want any of that, and he's going to get out of there. And once again, that's his Redis is stuck there. No one wants to jump that there without sure knowledge that they're going to be safe. And Rapha comes back out with the LG. There's the rail.
There we go. But he doesn't want to leave that red up too long. If he goes to the Mega, then Rapha might get the steal. I think Rapha will keen and make that move. Evil can get the red, and he's got ownership over that Mega health as well, but he takes one rail from Rapha. Missing the following shot. He needs this to reduce Rapha's confidence a bit. Oh look at Rapha starts up onto the Mega health. This is a fight that Evil doesn't want. He's still got 100, but Rapha has left as well. Overtime, number 5.
Number 5.
Who told me this was a TDM game? This is an unreal amount of time to be playing Duel.
So another yellow for Evil as he stacks it back up, and this is such an intense battle. So much endurance, so much focus is required from both players. That's how both Rapha and Evil.
That's right. So much focus from both players. So I can tell you that like their adrenaline is flowing throughout this entire matchup, and that is how and why like they're able to get not necessarily get away with how they are able to pull off some of the shots that they make, or the strategies that they use, or the techniques that they apply. Adrenaline, that's basically the motivating factor. And you know, these guys, they've been playing at a professional level for so long, so they're probably immune. They might not have so much adrenaline flowing from at every moment, but like I can tell you, like when it gets toward the end of overtime, I can't remember, 23 minutes and 25 seconds. Once it gets to that point, someone's adrenaline goes into overdrive, and then they're able to catch back up, and then to go into the next overtime.
Have made it this far because they are some of the most experienced and best duelers that we have currently in the Quake Live community. Oh, that's bad! Rapha's got to get out of there.
That was a solid trap by Evil, but he's lost a lot of health from that. Where are those doubles when you need them? Lower yellow's going to be up in a second as well, but it's the health really that he's going to be worrying about at the moment. Oh, that rocket! I don't know if Rapha realizes quite how weak he is in terms of HP. Those 5 health bubbles even seem like a lot at the moment. Watching out for those rails, he might duck below where there's a 25. And he's given up that Mega due to the damage that he had previously taken.
And again, to remind you, this is match point for Rapha essentially. If he wins this map, he's got the title, and he would break the curse. Oh, and he's looking to do so, but again, Evil, he always finds these direct rockets when he truly needs them. But for how long is he going to have that situation going his way?
Evil is regarded as a player with the best rockets in the world at the moment as well, so you can see the kind of damage he's managed to get out of them, and sometimes completely saving his life in certain situations. If your timing was on there, then it would probably work, but he's trying to show us some nice things.
So again, he's got another great stack. How will Rapha foil him? It almost feels like that's the question.
Overtime, number 6.
Damn, this is insane.
I don't think anything has ever happened like this in a grand final for Quake Live.
Yeah, he failed to connect on that rocket, but you know, that happens.
But he got some good damage on Evil as well. That was a very odd situation. It looked like Rapha was not in good position. But it wasn't. He's carried in the air. Evil in trouble. Rapha does not want to stop. And Evil has had to.
These guys are both really good at that. They're using the lightning gun from down below. That's the power of the lightning gun in that particular moment. Someone jumping off the ledge there, thinking that they were going to get away. Yeah, getting caught by like a whole bunch of lightning to the face.
Break away. This yellow's up in a second. He's going for the 50. I think I'm going to have a heart attack.
Gonna take a breath after that one. I don't know how he got out of there alive, but Evil somehow is still breathing. One frag really makes a difference in this series, right? Or rather, in this situation.
So you'll notice that, like, there's a rocket right there now, and then yeah, the rocket's modeled pretty cool. Anyway, the point that I wanted to make is that he's got 100 health and 50 armor, and he's going to collect those little health bubbles, which, you know, they help, but they don't help much.
And it looks like Rapha has a good idea where Evil is, and he doesn't have many options at the moment. This is one of the worst situations he's been in, but that's how you can deal.
Also, every time that they rail one another, it only does 80 damage, but in Quake 3 Arena, it does 100 damage. They nerfed the railgun for some reason. I don't particularly understand why. They shouldn't have done that.
They just keep whittling Rapha down at range, but Rapha eventually will try to find a way to close the distance. But Evil's bought himself some time, and he will get another yellow.
It's also worth noting, I haven't mentioned this, but all of the weapons and all the effects and the ammo boxes and the health bubbles and everything, they're all different models than the base Quake 3 Arena version or Team Arena or whatever. And I think that's pretty cool. But also, there's also the fact that there's no weapon bobbing. That I don't know why there's no weapon bobbing. Maybe it's a setting in the config that the casters are using. Because I don't think that the actual players themselves use the graphics that are seen. I've seen Rapha's screen before. I think he uses like slash r underscore picmip whatever to make all the textures bland so that he can see his opponent a lot better. And I think a lot of players do that, but I digress.
Another yellow for Evil. Where is the presence here from Rapha? So, such a slow approach right now. Rapha's going to pick up the red. He is fully stacked. He's a meat popsicle, and we're going to see right now Evil in a situation where he doesn't really want to fight, but he's got a good position, and you can see he gets...
Also, another thing that I haven't mentioned before.
Rapha's going to pick up the red. He is fully stacked. He's a meat popsicle, and we're going to see right now Evil in a situation where he doesn't really want to fight, but he's got a good position.
Hold on.
And you can see he gets the information and he backs away.
Well, that's not conducive.
Rapha. So
the slopes right here. So in Quake 1, jumping up these slopes, and even Quake 2, jumping up these slopes gave like a height advantage, and yeah, they took that out for Quake 3, which I don't particularly understand. It's in CPA mode, Challenge Pro Mode Arena.
Such a slow approach right now. Rapha's going to pick up the red. He is fully stacked. He's a meat popsicle, and we're going to see right now Evil in a situation where he doesn't really want to fight, but he's got a good position, and you can see he gets the information and he backs away.
I got a feeling we're getting another overtime ban.
It's coming. Number 7 is not far away.
Oh
Evil wants it as well, I think.
Oh my days, it's gonna... Overtime number 7 has arrived. The game continues, and Evil still hasn't worked out how to unlock Rapha here. Rapha just jumped in! Very aggressive move! The rail does hit him as well, and there's that Mega does not spawn for a few moments. On top of that, Rapha being aggressive for the top. Evil's gonna get out of it! He's at risk of death! The more top of the rail! Rapha chasing a shotgun, and he's got him!
And so that was the first frag after like, I don't know, 12 minutes. And yeah, so now Rapha's sort of in the lead. Well, he is in the lead.
Finally, Rapha gets the kill, but it's not over just yet. We still have more time on the clock here for Evil to try to get a last-ditch attempt, a Hail Mary, something. But Rapha's stack is unbelievable, and Evil's going to be in a lot of trouble. Rapha looking to get the follow-up kill. Oh, there it is, with the rail. 2 frags in advantage now, Rapha. Surely that's enough, but he is low.
They couldn't get a frag in 12 minutes. What makes you think that Evil's going to get 2 in 1?
And so, if you couldn't get a frag in 12 minutes, what makes you think that he's going to get 2 in 1? Adrenaline.
I'm just not sure. I think Rapha may have done it already. So we're going to need to see some unbelievable plays from Evil. Like we saw Rapha in Sinister when he made that comeback. Let's switch over to Evil and see if he's got anything else in the tank for us.
He's got some armor, he's got some health, he's got enough to go for one last bomb rush, and that is what he does. There you go, that's how you start it. Oh no! He's gonna get caught by Rapha. What a beautiful read there, pulling out the LG, blocking the aggression.
And that's the strategy right there. Use the lightning gun when somebody is in the air is basically you're ripe for the picking. And that's why I mentioned it, like whenever people, whenever the other player is down below right here, when someone's up in the red armor where Evil is right now, it's a useful strategy to whip out the lightning gun and dish out a lot of damage.
He's going to have to chase him to hard now. Rapha doesn't have much stack at all. He's going to have to punch him. He was hit just a second ago, it seems. 25 seconds. He's got to close the gap somehow. Where's he? Is he down below? I think that button wasn't pressed. He's hit one rail. He needs to hit one more. He can't quite get it. He's found it. We got 15 seconds though. Where is Rapha?
Where's he?
Oh my God! He died!
And there it is.
Yes! What is this, man?
Overtime 8!
How?
You see how the pendulum of fairness swings in both directions? Yeah, it's a well-made map with 2 players that are of equivalent level of skill. And this goes on for a few more minutes.
Alright, this is bad for Rapha right now because Evil has a massive stack to work with and he is going for it. Rapha, how does he survive? He's done it. I mean, I asked this question. He's shown us time and time again that he can find a way. But again, we're already on overtime 8. Oh, surely not.
Rapha's weak. That's a solid shot though from Rapha. That's kept him alive. Can Evil cut him off there? I think Rapha just assumed they had won the game. For real, he's so weak now. Oh, he's trying. I've never seen that jump complete actually. He's done Rapha. He has to hit the shot. Rapha is so terribly weak. Does Evil realize how much health he's got?
Well, he still has time to get this one. A little bit over a minute. It feels like the most comfortable position Evil's had for the last 15 minutes. So we'll have to see if he can pull it out of the bag at the moment, but the pressure's on. And it seems like he's rising to the occasion. He just has to find Rapha, get him on his screen, and I think he's going to be able to connect those rails. But Rapha's slowly being able to build up his stack. Evil's got to be careful not to get too far ahead of himself, not to rush himself, because he still has the better situation. And he doesn't want to take a massive risk and throw it all away.
Do you not feel though he's missed his biggest chance? Rapha was running around the map on 10 points of health.
And he's
I feel like it's going to happen all over again and we're going to get another 7 overtimes.
So Evil again has to catch Rapha, and it's all about the mind games. They've been here again and again and again.
And you just said it, it's all about the mind games. So it's psychological manipulation.
Again, it's all about the adaptations. That's usually a big strength of Rapha, but once again, it's Evil who's in the driving seats.
Do you remember that earlier in the tournament we had Saigat and Chance have a 9 overtime match? It looks like in 10 seconds we might be matching the same amount in the grand final. Decent rail, Rapha there, again being very agile. Oh, solid rail from the American. There it is.
Number 9.
Overtime number 9.
Evil, he's got himself that Mega again, and the red is up on the spot. Rapha doesn't feel comfortable to take it, and honestly, he's not amazingly strong, although he is actually stacking up on those yellows. He's been doing so for some time. Oh! That is really important, because Rapha doesn't really have a lot of access to really replenish that. This is a window for Evil. If he decides to get aggressive, he just has to guess right once, and he could nail it.
Evil's got to make sure that Rapha can't continue getting his stack up to that 200 armor. I think maybe Evil's access to just completely close the gap. That red's been taken, he lands one rail. Not going to hit the other, but immense rail there from Rapha. Top yellow's up. Wow! He's He's fighting again. He's going to close the gap with the LG. Is this it? Rapha's pretty weak. The rockets are amazing though. He's going to chase this. This is going to be the one. Evil has taken the lead.
But there's a minute to go. And he's not too strong. Rapha comes in. LG's out. But he's bouncing around. Evil's got the better position. And he gets the frag. He's got the R8 too. He looks pretty good for now. What's Rapha going to do? How can he get to Evil? He has 40 seconds to do that. And the leg is up for Evil. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
30 seconds for Evil to protect this lead. He's got the 50 health bubble, which is a massive saving grace. But let's go over to Rapha's perspective and see if he's able to chase it down once again. He's found Evil. He's done a ton of damage, but he's got to cut him off somehow. I think he might have had to go for the chase. Evil was still owning the key. I think he had to commit just then. Oh, what a defense!
That was a nice rocket to the face right there.
Rocket from Evil. 10 seconds to go, Rapha. Are you going to be able to take him down? It looks as if Evil, with the spawn to play, he's taken it. That's a 28-minute map going to Evil.
And so, there you go. Number of frags, you know, jumping in the lava takes away a frag. He did have 5 frags. Technically, you know, I don't know, but it matters how many frags you have at a certain point in time, like in going into overtime or whatever. But as you can see, like the accuracy between these players is pretty equivalent, and Evil is doing more damage to Rapha. So this is a common theme here, where someone might have a better accuracy, and be doing more damage, but it's not going to matter, because what matters is the timing of the damage that's being done, and as well as, like, I don't know.
That's thirsty work for you, Dan.
You say 28 minutes, but it honestly didn't feel like that to me. That was one of the most intense Quake Live maps I think I may have ever casted, to be honest.
I thought Sinister was intense. I thought Sinister was reaching new levels, but that was something else.
Wow. And let's not forget that Evil, if he lost that, he's out, he's done. But now he gets to continue. Now he gets the chance to actually get back into this grand finals with a map win, because Rapha has that advantage of going through the winners bracket, not dropping a single game.
But it's pretty massive though, because losing a 28-minute map, the amount of stamina it takes to stay focused for that long, that's going to absolutely kill Rapha. This might be the opening that Evil needs in the series to really make it back.
And not only that, but this is sweet right now for Evil, because back in 2013, Evil got denied
So they talk for a few minutes. I'm just going to let it play out.
being able to play a blood run against Rapha. Okay, he got denied that. He had to play Toxicity map he doesn't really like instead. Blood Run is his favorite map, and I think in the CIS region it tends to be the most played map.
Yeah.
So this is one of his strongest possible maps to play, and this is how he can now get back into this grand finals. And if he can win this, he'll equalize and bring us all the way to 5, well, essentially 5 maps, or
Yeah,
4 for us to cast here on the stage.
Well, if we get that far, it's furious highs. But you know what?
We better get that far, because these guys are so good. So good on both these
I
maps.
already feel like we've gone that far after last map. That was
Give me
insane.
more. Everybody here wants more Z.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's let the players know that we're prepared to go forward and see if we can get them to ready up in this one.
Okay, so this is a remake of the original Blood Run, which is, I believe it's actually 2 words, not 1 word. And it's got this Intel inside theme. I think it looks pretty cool. It makes it cleaner looking, as you can see here. It uses a lot of the base texturing in Quake 3 Arena, as well as some of the concrete and the black trim. It's all well executed.
Now guys, do you want Evil to continue this haulage of frags and make it back?
To fight.
Or are you supporting Rapha in this one to take the title?
3, 2.
Well, let's go. The map has begun. It's map 4 between Rapha and Evil. We're on Rapha's perspective here on ZTN.
Many thanks to Intel. It's a nice start actually for Rapha. You know, being able to get the rail and the LG right at the beginning is great, because you're on that rocket launcher as well. but it can give a lot of versatility straight away, and you get the opportunity to do stuff like that.
So the geometry is mostly the same. You can see this texture here, that's pretty cool. I believe most of this texture, most of the brushwork is the same. The brushwork and geometry resolves to the same thing. There's also the jump pads.
We're on Rapha's perspective here on ZTN.
Many thanks to himself.
And then there's this grate right here. That's pretty cool.
It's a nice skill actually for Rapha, being able to get the rail and the LG right at the beginning is great. Obviously you're on that rocket launcher as well, but it can give a lot of versatility straight away, and you get the opportunity to do.
And then the jump pad right here. So, it is common practice for some people to use their own sort of idea for a jump pad. You don't have to use the default jump pad texture. You can, create something like this. This could either be a model or it could be a combination of like detail brushes and stuff. But yeah, I think that looks pretty cool.
Stuff like that, and that's going to send Evil almost immediately out of control. And he's a guy that loves to rush down on this map, which is very strange, that approach. And you also will know that Rapha knows how he plays, and he's going to go straight for the red.
Whoa!
What? How did Evil walk in there and take control?
Unbelievable. I don't think Rapha expected that Evil could get that level of damage out there.
I was trying to explain that he shouldn't be able to do that, but then he goes in and does it anyway.
The mentalist. And now
You can see that the light right there is yellowish and it's whitish throughout the rest of the level. So they either goofed up or that was intentional. Pretty sure they goofed up right there. It's supposed to be white like the rest of the level.
he's managed to get himself up to a full armor stack. The red is going to be the next port of call.
It definitely gives the map a totally different feel. The geometry is all the same, so it's going to play the same, but it gives it a different feel anyway, and it makes it easier to see the enemy.
And we've got Rapha down the bottom now. If Evil wants needs to aim to really be on point here, looking for the vertical shots, but not going to get them. Almost finds an angle from Rapha down below, and this is an easier way to get up to that red area. He's going to try and bully Rapha off the Mega as well. Successful.
Yeah, so it's definitely a very nice start to have. And Rapha is not without stuff to work with himself, but he's going to be relegated to just kind of playing the outskirts and trying to avoid Evil. Evil with that advantage definitely wants to go for the engagement, and he's got the...
Relegated to playing the outskirts is a term for being on the back foot or backpedaling.
Control of the red area, and with the big split between the red and the Mega, Rapha's going to understand those timings. So he's got a good picture of what's going on, but it also means that it's pretty hard for Rapha right now to really do that much.
Especially when we're getting damage like that from Evil. If he can continue just poking and prodding away, then he should be able to retain the control for quite a long time, and eventually secure himself a bit more stable.
I also like what they did with the graphics that show up. It's got like, it's not the default Q3A graphic right there that comes up, the metal, and then it's got like a decal over, like there's a template that they use or a stencil or something, and then they sort of like make it look like it's rusting away or something like that. That's pretty cool. Or they use like a dissolving technique.
One solid rail, he's just going into it. Another rail shot, he's looking for more. He does not want to chase through the teleporter. That's just a recipe for disaster. He's going to fight Rapha anyway. Go with the LG. Can he take him down once again? He follows, looking for the shotgun. And Rapha was on it.
And so that technique right there is chasing somebody down. But Evil was unable to get the frag. But that technique is useful when you know that someone is low on health or armor.
About 3 health.
It's not done just yet though. Slide into mission, and he was back.
Oh.
And also, that whole confrontation right there.
Follows, looking for the shotgun. And Rapha was on about 3 health.
It's not done just yet.
So in this area right here,
Yes,
the stairs right there provides protection from the splash damage that the rockets could be doing. So that is a strategy right there that that Rapha is using.
Slide into mission, and he was back.
Oh,
But where?
Not protection, but it makes it harder for the splash damage to do more damage.
Oh, the connections! Evil doesn't close the frag that he absolutely should have had. But Rapha is still quite weak. He'll get the yellow to his name soon enough. Oh, okay. Evil's ready for some redemption.
I feel like we've got a sort of new level of confidence in Evil right now. This is something we weren't seeing earlier on in the tournament. The energy that we're getting from his play is unbelievable. He's found Rapha again. Solid rocket. He's just going to push it through the teleporter. Rendezvous at top yellow. Well, Rapha missed the memo.
Evil back in again into center map, trying to survey things. Of course, Rapha still trying to avoid him. So Evil just has to deal with these items, but they're much closer together, and that gives Rapha options to delay Evil on this Mega, get some damage in, and then maybe see what he can do towards the red armor as he goes towards that position. And you can see Evil.
You know, as I'm watching this, I sort of like am reminded of, like, I don't know, Quake 3 was ran on Windows XP, and then like Quake Live runs on like Windows 10. You know, like the original Blood Run, it's like XP, and then this version of Blood Run, it's like Windows 10. Looks a lot cooler. Some aspects of it are a lot easier to use, or whatever, so on and so forth.
Has to go back there, and Rapha can get the steal. That was perfect play from Rapha.
Doesn't take a single rail of damage. Evil missing the last few shots, and actually this is allowing Rapha to net a bit more armor. And then Evil's going to have to play a little bit slow right now. He can't have the same presence on the map that he had before. He's got to hope that he can collect a few armors himself before he's really able to pick a fight.
Here he goes back on the Mega and the yellow, but as you mentioned, Rapha has done enough. Oh no! He can't get caught like that. That was not supposed to happen, and that's going to set Rapha back quite a lot of time. He was basically ready to create an engagement, but now he's back to square one again. It's probably a minute until he can find a proper engagement he wants.
Oh, the rocket! Oh, you say that! The damage is unbelievable.
And so he was spamming the rockets right there, which is basically, he could have used a grenade launcher to do that too. Probably would have preferred to do that if I were in that position, but I don't know.
Unbelievable! Just taking the words out of our mouth here. The red dot, Rapha should be able to collect this. There we go, he's got about 180 armor himself. The Mega's up in 5 seconds, and the game's just been flicking on and off. Different directions for each player in control like a switch.
Yeah, those rockets, again, that's a pretty crazy thing that happened, and that does things a bit more complicated for Evil. He's got some harder choices to make as Rapha's running around with the 200 300 really stacked, and Evil's going to get pinned to the wall there briefly as the rail connects. And Rapha's got a good feel where, oh no, he's trapped. This is bad. This is really bad for Evil.
So he tried to force his way in there. Yeah, I think it kind of backfired.
Does he survive this? There's no escape. Or is there? Rapha lets him out.
I think that rocket that he hit on Rapha just made him just clear away. I was like, I'm not pushing for a choke there. Gonna give him the space that he's earned.
Yeah, playing it
Patient
patient.
elsewhere. This is 5 games in the game. You've got to remember that Evil's in the lead. Even though he'd love to extend his lead and pad it a little bit, it's up to Rapha at the end of the day. He's looking for that map victory. Otherwise, this series is going to be tied. And it's going to have to go in the clutch.
Once again, a little quiet as Evil tries to catch his opponent. He's obviously fairly aware that the red armor will be spawning, but also needs to try to get some sound cues, because it's all about playing the avoidance game. He doesn't want to fight, and that's a good rocket, and that's going to be enough to deter Rapha once again, just for now at least. A few moments to breathe for Evil as he collects some shards, but again, it's the intensity is not done just yet. Rapha can come from anywhere. We've seen it before, and I'm sure we'll see it again.
He is fully stacked. Let's switch over to Rapha there and see what he can do with this. He is looking for that comeback at the moment. Evil's been so deceptive. Hits that rail just before going through the teleporter. Evil, he's missing all the rockets this time. This is Rapha, he's gonna...
And that is a perfect combination shot right there.
Make it! The LG to rail switch, sorting him out. Evil, he's gonna have to wave goodbye to that yellow. He's gonna be surviving on nothing.
Awesome chase though there, the combo kill coming in. Armor's up for Rapha as well. He's been able to take those pretty consistently. His control has been very solid and already able to equalize That's, I think, ahead of schedule there for Rapha, and he's going to have to see if he can just close it straight up by converting more kills out of control. And there's Evil. Good bit of dodge there, actually, to make this shot a little bit difficult for Rapha. And it's going to be in 10 seconds. Both -20 once, but Evil can't get caught here. So much damage. Again from Rapha. Again, Mega and Red are spawning. Can Rapha catch Evil? Looks like he will. LT's out. Good damage, but Evil somehow survives.
And there's about 3 health right there. And Evil, he just about gets the 50 health bubble, but he's playing for his life right now. The damage from Rapha's been amazing. The potency of the lightning gun has made it so difficult for Evil to control his movement as well. You can see the conflict weapon switches over here, but Evil's reading it well and is able to have an escape. His stack is not looking terrible. He's approaching 100. Oh, rocket just missing. And he traces through the teleport and gets hit by a facial rocket. Both players are tied up, providing Evil's able to get just a little extra.
Yeah, it's really good work, and he's going to be able to pick up that Mega Health. Big win there for Evil. Rapha has to think very carefully about how to handle the situation. So there's the 100, 200 from Rapha, but Evil's on the 200, 100, and there's the fight. Does he want to take it? Rapha has to push for a choke point. Yeah, I am very happy he didn't go for that. That's not a good way to start that fight off.
That's a no-no, a big no-no to go through choke points like that. And of course, Rapha's always been so nice about Evil's play and respectful. That he knows that he's got some dangerous players around, and Evil, he's just fought his way over onto the Mega area. Now Rapha all of a sudden in massive trouble. The game might be tied, but Rapha, he's gonna be playing this as he's protecting a lead essentially. Are we gonna get overtime again? I mean, it's still 2 minutes to go, but I won't even think about it. I'll stop.
But also, both players do want to play it again to a situation which is the closest thing to a sure thing that they can find when it comes to engagement. But both are so good at avoiding each other's traps. Oh, but that's it. Oh, that's what? LT comes in, and Evil finds it.
And he's making it happen right now.
Yeah.
Wants to be careful of that red. He knows that he's thinking about going up there. How did he land that rail? There was barely a pixel right there, but he connected with it. And Rapha goes in for a bit of damage, but Evil is so ready. His weapon selection is on point. Lower yellows up. He's managing his resources flawlessly. Let's go back over to Rapha and see what he can do in his final 60 seconds to make this happen.
Evil's so close to the last map, and Rapha's going to be able to find Evil over at the red, but Evil, oh, again, this guy is flawless. Absolutely flawless right now.
GG!
And there it is.
3-1. We're going all the way.
We
are going all the way.
What has happened this series? I can't believe the mental fortitude that we're seeing from Evil at the moment, going from a heartbreaking Sinister, already being a map behind to begin with, and then showing us that strength, the stamina to take us through all those games. This is such a close final, and we're getting
these guys are in the element right now.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing, because I don't see any sign of nerves. Normally at this point, with this intensity, with this much at stake, you see decisions that you kind of look at and you're like, why did he do that? That looks really stupid. It's like a mistake you would not normally expect from that player, and it's usually nerves. It's usually the pressure getting to them. But both Evil and Rapha in these situations with very extended overtimes have been incredibly smart and not making errors like that, so somehow the pressure is not affecting them. I don't really understand how that's possible, but
I'm staggered at the level we're seeing. But do you feel maybe in the final moments of Blood Run that Rapha's showing us maybe some signs of weakness or signs of doubt in his own ability to get that win?
I'm not sure.
Happening?
You talked about the curse. We'll have to see if the curse is real or if it can be broken, because Rapha's ready, Evil's ready. Make some noise! It's the final map about to begin for QuakeCon 2016 between Rapha and Evil. Evil's made the comeback all the way, but it's all on Furious Heights.
All right, so this is one of my favorite maps. It's not called Heavy Rain, but I think that's actually a StarCraft 2 level. However, there's like a rain animation in certain parts of the map here.
Probably the best place to finally finish a grand finals of this proportion.
The aesthetics in this map are awesome, and you'll see that flag that's in, what is it, House of Decay.
What a map we've got ahead of us. We've had such drama on this map.
This flag right here. It's in House of Decay. So this level has basically the same textures as House of Decay.
He is. And Evil to start us off, going to be getting shotgun.
Some of the same textures. Not all of them are the same textures.
Red, collect himself on the rocket. Oh, he's going to go a little aggressive and just cement himself on that weapon that he has been.
Yeah, so like you see the wall right here, and then you see like this texture right here. It's kind of like, it's a detail brush. And it's meant to separate like what's going on in this room from what's in the hallway there. And it's well implemented here, it blends right in. And then it's also got that little lip right there, which is also pretty cool.
So powerful with.
And then you notice that technique is used throughout the level, and I think that's a curved surface. So I think that is a fully legitimate curve that's being used right there. I don't think that's brush work.
He wants to fight already. Okay, sending a bit of a statement.
And as you can see, like the lighting elements there, and like the curved surface there, and then you got like these very little details here. They add a lot to the map and its presentation and everything. And a lot of these details are easy to overlook, but they add a lot of flair and they make it feel like a natural environment.
Just push forward anyway. He's going to get himself to the 50 health on him.
He wants to fight already. Okay, sending a bit of a statement.
Rapha just push forward anyway. He's going to get himself to the 50 health.
So looking up right here, you can see that there's a lot of brushwork that goes on up there as well, and it's not meant to be like accessed or anything. It's just kind of like it's aesthetic, but you know, there is geometry and brushwork that goes on up there to make it look cohesive with the rest of the level. And there's a lot of these little details throughout this level. So you got this main area, you got the area over there with the yellow armor, and then you got the mega health room in the distance there, and then this area is where the red armor is. So there's a lot of action that goes on here. You'll catch a lot of fights with someone up there and then someone down here, just kind of going back and forth.
There's only plasma for him to work with.
And then that little hallway that he just jumped through, it's meant to provide separation between that room and this room so that it's not drawing all the geometry of this room when you're in that room.
And Evil, he's just going to walk away. You can have the red Rapha. There's a tiny bit of a delay as well on the item. Evil's going to have a guess at that when it comes to up next, but maybe depending on any fights that do over there later on.
This is pretty smart from Rapha. He's actually leaving the mega up, trying to bait Evil into the yellow when Evil is supposed to think that's where I think that's where it's safe. And Rapha's trying to play against that fact, and Evil didn't buy it. He played it very smart, not falling again for Rapha's traps, and that's why we saw a 9 times over time. But so Rapha will find him anyway, and he's getting the damage on as well.
So low on health though. Where the hell are they down? Rapha, the damage that he's getting out is insane though. How is he doing it, Rapha? He's still fairly weak himself.
So this is like a 3-tier area. The second tier is like right there, and there's not a lot of spots in this map where there's a second tier. I think this might be the only place where there is access to like the second tier, fully legitimate second tier. You got the first tier here, and you got like the border tier, and then you've got the second tier, and then you've got like a little bit more trim or brushwork between the third tier right there, and then there's the teleporter brings you right up there, and then the mega health spawns right there. And then there's this room behind where you are right here. There's the jump pad that goes up, and the jump pad is basically protected from like any outside area, any area over here. You really cannot see anyone jumping up the jump pad from anywhere in this room unless you're down here. And then also the geometry of this pillar right here, it's well executed. It's not like a square pylon or anything like that. It's kind of like oblong shaped. I don't know. It's not an it is an octagon, I think, or maybe it isn't. But it's not like a square octagon. It's more of like a rounded octagon, and this adds a lot of style to this particular map. It's also used like over here, and there's brushwork on the bottom of that brush there, and then there's brushwork on the bottom of that brush there, I think. And there's a lot going on here that is very well executed, and anyone making a map should take a lot of inspiration from what's going on here. It's not just the brushwork that makes this map great, but it is excellent. And also it's the weapon placement or the item placement and like how they navigate it from point A to B. Everyone has a reason to be able to go from point A to B or be anywhere on this particular map.
But Evil, he's living on nothing at the moment. He is a dead man walking. That rail will kill him. Evil's just trying to kill the time at the moment.
So you see how like that's the only area where you're able to see the jump pad? You're not able to see anybody jumping up the jump pad. You can only see them going up to the jump pad, and then as they're going from bottom to top, they're basically protected, and it's next to impossible. It is impossible to do any damage to anybody that's jumping up the jump pad. So that is a well executed jump pad mechanic right there.
So that if he does die, he can spawn at a fresh red. The damage is incredible. Rapha is...
Yeah, you see that little brushwork right there? That's pretty well executed, and you know, a lot of thought probably went into putting this together. It's a detail brush, or 1, 2, 3 brushes probably make up that little fixture there, and then you got another brush there, you got another brush there, and then you got this like curved thing here. Yeah, this is well executed map.
So weak at the moment. He's got...
And then you got like this little lip right here. It doesn't provide any obstruction to the player, so like they're not going to snag on this little lip right here. They're gonna be able to walk right over it, and they're gonna be able, you know, it might like deflect some splash damage, but then again, I don't think it really matters. And then you got the health bubbles in the distance, and you got the curve there, you got the curve there. It's a lot of curves, angles, and really good textures in this particular map. I can't stress enough that this is like one of my favorite maps for a lot of reasons.
The yellow, and Rapha's eventually pulled back and said, you know what, take the mega, you've earned it.
That is such great play from Evil, and I can hear a round of applause, and that definitely deserves it, because there's no way he should survive that and eventually deter Rapha, or even create a spot where he's like, actually, you know what, I'm not going to get this frac. That's just ridiculous. But that's what's happened, and Evil will keep himself alive. He's got 80 armor to his name at the moment, starting to get something to work with, which is phenomenal.
I think what Rapha realizes that if Evil does respawn, he's going to get the red. He's got 100 health to spawn and 100 armor. Right now, he knows that he's on about 20 health or less, and taking the mega is still going to put him in a pretty weak position compared to what he wants to get himself. But after picking up that mega, that's changing things a little further. The stacks are very even at the moment, and any fight could start at any moment. Although, one thing to notice is that Evil still has not taken that railgun.
And that's quite interesting, because it's a very important out-of-control weapon. Although as long as you're aware of the kind of spots you can play from with the LG and the rockets, and you keep yourself strong in those spots, it's fine. But it does stop him from having a long-range option, which is really annoying, because he wants to really whittle down the stack of Rapha to stop him from pushing onto this mega. But Rapha's just working grenades in a very odd position. Evil's able to get some rocket damage down there. Rapha's going to be very careful, because Evil's rocking an LG and a rocket launcher, and this is too awkward. Rapha's going to back away. But that gives Evil a chance here to maybe make a crazy play. But he's going to keep it pretty vanilla for now. He's going to settle back on that mega.
Yellow, that's 200 for Evil. Can he make it out?
And you'll see these players often use that wall there to fake out the opponent. It mitigates someone from wanting to rush in there and take the opponent out, because the way that the stairs are, they're on the upper area. So even if they are cornered, they still have an advantage being behind the wall or whatever, because they're gonna be a lot less likely to chase them down in that area. But I digress. And another thing is these tiles right here that are kind of like just like sitting there. It's not something you want to scatter the entire map with, but in little bits and pieces, it can be pretty useful. It can make the map more fun to look at, And you'll see that a lot in like Doom 3, or not Doom 3. You might see it a little bit in Doom 3, but you see it a lot more in Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Just a lot of geometry is used. Like there's an excessive amount of geometry. I wouldn't say excessive. There's a very high amount of geometry used in Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, and it pays off very dearly.
I think Rapha's going to have to let him. He's going to know that he's really strong at this point. They're just doing his rockets and not much is happening, and there's no room for evil. LG only. He's got to be careful though. Rapha's rockets are very solid, and he's just about pushing him out. Quick grenade. Just telling him that he's not allowed him just yet. Plasma coming out, okay?
And so, using the plasma gun in close proximity like that is pretty hard to do. So these guys have like a pretty high DPI mouse to be able to do something like that. And notice how like he was like kind of like scrambling to get shots in with it. That's hard to do.
You get the frags with the plasma! Only 23 health left. Rapha did not think that would be possible, but that rocket sent him to 5.
And you know, he fell with only 5 health and he had some armor. If he didn't have that armor and he didn't land on the health, he probably would have died from that fall. But he would have definitely died from that fall. But that just goes to show you that like even if you've got a little bit of armor, it's going to take away some of your armor whenever you do like you take any damage. That's pretty obvious. But what I'm saying is that it's risky falling from that amount of distance with that low of health.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. As a Quake player, whenever you're going to take an engagement, you're like, okay, I'm probably going to lose about this much health. Hold that fort. Rapha wants to go in again. He's not done this yet. Oh, vertical rail, head to toe. Evil is going to be just sitting pretty at the moment, despite the low health, of course. But otherwise, he's going to go in again. Rapha realizes this, and he's going to be holding up.
You notice how he shot the rocket and it didn't land anywhere near where Evil was? Yeah, it's because like when you're on a level playing field with somebody, it's sort of difficult to be able to land rockets that get splash damage when you're on even footing.
To that red armor position, and the red is so far away.
What was that?
Is that another mistake? Timing mistake from Evil?
Is there a plan behind it? I'm trying to think what he could be doing to make that decision. That is so unusual from Evil. The amount of strength that Rapha had, or
Either a misread or a mistiming, and either way, it did not work out very well for him, and the score is all tied up, which really alleviates a lot of pressure from Rapha, allowing him to, if he wants to, really take his time and find the right engagement, build the control, build the stack. But he does also know that Evil's not in a great position, and he wants to keep him there by finding him every now and again to put some more damage on him, or just charging to him full speed. Evil's just trying back out of this room. Is Rapha going to be able to get to that mega helmet and not do any damage on him? Evil launches himself over as quickly as LG damage on the way out. He's actually committed to this. Rapha takes a huge amount of damage there. The plasma fight, what is this? The final match, the grand final, we're getting plasma versus plasma. Close combat action. Oh, the rocket there! And he's going to take it down! Rapha was
And the technique he just used was the plasma wall climbing technique that I talked about.
not expecting it! These aggressive plays from Evil, this is back to his roots right now. This is what you would see from him when he's playing over on the European side, and he's just given too much respect to Rapha in the past.
And if I'm honest, I really expected Rapha to have a massive edge into this grand finals, also because of the innate advantage that he has already the map up. But Evil is really playing out of his skin at the moment, and dropping down on his red. And there's no way that Rapha can, should be able to steal this from Evil's position. And indeed, Evil gets the pickup. But importantly, Rapha gets a bit of damage to just control Evil's stack and keep him honest in future engagements. And again, as you can see, that extra space to work with has allowed Rapha to be able to pick up a yellow and keep himself in a good stead.
Evil's worried about in that position on the red armor, so he's happy to wait here a few seconds. Oh, Rapha at the top, just manages to evade one shot. He's going to go out, still going to maintain 200 armor, but currently the ammo management on the LG and the rockets particularly is a little bit bleak. He's doing something about that right now.
Evil once again playing it patiently, looking for the solutions here. No, I don't think I could see Rapha on my screen, but he found a way to rail Evil. So, well, that's fair enough. Evil though, unable to return any damage, it's been slightly annoying as he realizes Rapha outstacks him. And he's actually in the middle, in the open right now. This is very bad. And Rapha's going to force the push.
Oh, these rockets from Evil, though, yet again, keeping him alive. Rapha was falling. I think he's on about 50 health himself. So he's just taken some health over. He's taken a mega. All Evil has taken is a yellow.
Again, just playing it slow. Read the map and realizes that he has to try to understand what Rapha wants to do before he does it, so he can set up and prepare to defend. But Rapha finds him around the corner.
What a
Very
trap.
sneaky. 2-2. Is it happening?
So they're tied up right now, and from here on out, it kind of spirals out of control. It gets very, very close, but
Again soon.
I don't know where to go with this. I can no longer predict anything. My mind is melted from this series we've got into these two players. Mega is up. Is Rapha trying to give respect to even allowing him to have it? They might run into each other. Rapha firing off some rockets just to ensure that Evil's not going to get in his face.
you know,
Allowing him to have it. They might run into each other. Rapha firing off some rockets.
he's straight ahead.
Mega is up. Is Rapha trying to give respect to even allowing him to have it? They might run into each other. Rapha firing off some rockets.
Right there. See? He's straight ahead. I don't know how you didn't see that.
Just to ensure that Evil's not going to get in his face.
Now he finds himself a rocket. That's going to discover Evil for him. Oh, the LG is like shooting fish in the barrel. How is Evil going to escape this one?
Good frag. Surely it's going to be Rapha taking it down. Evil's so weak, some damage coming up from Evil, but it's simply not enough. There's the lead. Evil, he's going to go have the hard on this one, but it's a 2-frag advantage for Rapha.
2 minutes to go. Evil's shown us he's capable of it. Rapha is not insanely stacked. He's just very stacked, which is still quite problematic still. As you can see some rockets coming in from Evil, and Rapha's going to take a breather and stop. Oh, a nice little rocket in the back there. Doesn't do too much damage, but obviously Evil. Wow, these rockets from Evil are so close. Finding LG. Now Rapha's in trouble. Evil knows he has to try to finish it, but his health is so low. Rapha survives.
But look what's happened. Evil spawned with the red armor. He's taken a rail straight away, but if he can get himself onto a lightning or something, or get close to Rapha quickly, then he still might be able to conjure something in this instance. LG coming out. Can he get close to Evil at all? 26 health left. Evil's coming forward. He's going to be able to take the kill. It's not over just yet. We've got 60 seconds to go. Red armor is up. And Rapha, he can't get on it. He's not time to be able to get trapped at all. And I think it's just going to be a direct chase.
He's so clutch. He's going to keep drilling. The LG finds him. Rapha now just 1 frag in the lead and 45 seconds to keep it alive. But Evil is so stacked and he is coming for him.
Rapha trying to, oh, the rocket from Rapha!
That was a really well shot rocket.
Unbelievable! But he's so weak. Evil's going to have that red armor to take himself, and Evil's going to think twice about going through that choke point. He's still, oh, he's caught him again! Is the comeback real? Look at the health of the players! They're both crippled at this point. There's about 15 seconds to go. Rapha's still so weak. Evil, can you find him though? Where is he hiding? I got no idea where he is. You've got to spam some rockets. Rapha's just found some health. He's up at the top. 5 seconds to go. There's one reel. He's going to have to clutch this with the LG. He can't do it. Rapha is the QuakeCon 2016 champion.
And there you have it. I'll let it play out.
What a match. I've never seen anything like it.
I'll just let the crowd speak for us right now. Perhaps the Quake Live Finals, the end all Quake Live Finals right there. To the limit on every single map. But he's broken the curse, dude. He's done it.
He has 2 QuakeCon titles in a row. You've got to feel for Evil though. What a series he gave Rapha. and also coming from the loser bracket and almost taking it. Absolutely crazy.
It's going to be absolutely gutted, and I'm sure Rapha's getting really excited to soon be able to pick up this amazing trophy that we have here for Quake Live.
So we're going to have a very quick word, I believe, from Jahar to have a chat with Rapha, and then I believe we'll look at the prizes. And Jahar's catching his breath as well.
All right, give me a second. I'll give you a second. Yeah. yeah. Let's do that.
So the reason why he's like, I'll give you a second, is because he's experiencing adrenaline rush right now, and so is Evil. And they need a minute to sort of like get over it, to get over their nerves. He does appear to be rather calm, but his heart is pounding right now.
You okay?
Excuse my language, that's the hardest final I've ever had to play.
All right, anything I could ask you would be totally inane. Feel free to spill it.
Sorry, what was it again?
Say whatever you want.
I'll say whatever I want. I mean, obviously, thanks to Intel and id and Bethesda for putting on this tournament again. And broke the curse. 2 in a row. That's it. Thanks, buddy.
So how many titles is it for you now?
5.
Yeah, I think he's won the titles a number of times since like 2011 or before that. I'm not certain, but yeah, Rapha's like one of the best players in the world. You know, like he might not be the best player in the world, but like, you know, out of all the people that managed to make it to the tournaments and stuff, you know, the best players don't always make it to the tournaments. There's a lot of competitive, I don't know. I'm going to shoo that comment for now, but yeah, like he's made a name for himself, hence why I made the video.
Maybe it's a good sign, you know, Quake 5, Quake Champions coming up. So who knows?
All right, well, Rapha, congratulations.
Thank you.
Go collapse into a wet heap of flesh. I know I am. All right, guys.
Mr. Evil.
And then here's Tim Willits, creative director of Quake Champions and guy who made Q2DM1.
You have your check?
Among a number of other things. Like Tim Willits has been at id Software for a really long time.
Oh, we have 3rd place. Yes.
I don't know who that guy is, but I'm sure he's mad good. You know, it's worth noting that those big checks, that they're just for looks. They actually write out a totally different check. You can't go to a bank with a check like that and try to cash it in. And be like, why are you trying to cash in this really huge check? You're not allowed to do that. We don't accept it. You know, it won't fit through a check scanner. I used to work for a key corp, and I would have to, like, you know, talk to the bank tellers how to reset, or what's the word I'm looking for? Recalibrate the check scanners. Those things won't work in the check scanners.
All right, thank you.
Anyway, yeah, there we go. You got Shane Rapha Hendrickson, 12 grand. Sergey Evil Orikov, 7 grand. Marcel Paul Kilson, 3 grand. You got John 04 Hill, $1,000. You know, 5th and 8th, 5th/8th. I guess that might have been like TDM or something like that. Or no, it says 1 versus 1 right there. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Okay, and that about does it for this particular video. Over the last several days, I have been slowly building and shaping a new map that I'm going to build, and I'm going to feature that in the next part. However, that's going to do it for this particular video. If you liked what you saw, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, and thanks for watching.